Trubisky from Penn State is in the lineup for the first time on 4th down and 2. Wentz. The pass is caught to his favorite receiver, Zach Ertz, the tight end. From the 42, Wentz pass, and he threads the needle, and the pass is caught by Zach Ertz. Wentz with play action, drills it, and it's caught by Zach Ertz, and he's in for the touchdown. 3rd down and 10, and Trubisky has no chance. The offensive line pushed back by the Eagles. And here is Jordan Howard up the middle, touchdown. Made it look easy that time. Carson Wentz pass, and it's incomplete.
I'm sick and tired of all these receivers.
And here's Wentz getting some pressure, hit as he goes, and the ball is knocked away. And it looked like a catch was made by Alshon Jeffrey, but Kyle Fuller had other ideas.
Yeah, these wide receivers, they ain't all right, seriously.
Bobbling the ball is Shaheen, and he might have lost control, and the Eagles may have it, and they do.
What's going on, everyone? Chris Thacker, Tanner Martin, Tyre Hood, Max James. This is the Philly Experience Podcast. Eagles get a big W this weekend. Beat the Bears 22-14. However, there were some bright spots and there were some not so bright spots. T, we'll get into it shortly. I know you got some things on your mind.
Yeah,
Sixers.
I still stand by my statement. These receivers ain't.
I agree.
All right.
Sixers 5-1. Finally lose last night to Phoenix. Devin Booker had 40 points. We couldn't seem to stop him. And, we just struggled without Joel Embiid. He'll obviously missing his second straight game because of the suspension. And he'll be back tomorrow night for the Utah Jazz in Utah. And, Chris,
Me?
we're going to get into a little bit of Flyers at the end.
Okay.
All right? Always have to have our little chat at the end.
Yeah.
But first, let's get into the Eagles, obviously. All right, 22-14 win. They beat the Bears, which, I mean, at this point, Trubisky is not the most talented quarterback. We all know that. And as long as we get the W's, keep racking them up. It's all that matters. However, the Cowboys keep winning. So we're still in second place.
It's an outrage.
And as these weeks go by, it seems less likely that we're going to win a division. And not only that, but also probably miss the playoffs as well. So, T, what did you see out of these receivers that you didn't like yesterday?
All right.
Or 2 days ago?
Listen, oh my goodness. First off, Alshon Jeffrey, who's supposed to be our most reliable receiver, supposedly the only receiver that we have, is now dropping the football like he's turned into Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, boy.
Why? I counted 3 drops on Sunday. 3 drops. Routine catches that Alshon Jeffrey should be making. But
He had
still,
one big drop over the middle, I remember. I think he was afraid to get hit, to be honest with you, because I know he had safety help over the Bears did over the middle, and I think he just basically came up short on the ball and was afraid to get hit. I know that one specifically. There's probably more that you're talking about that I don't remember off the top of my head, and I can't visualize it right now. But, yeah, I agree. Aguilar as well.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right? Can we consider him a right receiver? Can we just say he's just a guy getting paid?
You know what? The one thing I will
$9.3
say, though, T, he has played the most snaps out of any receiver, I think, on Sunday.
What?
Hey,
He
Tanner,
did play the most snaps.
I need your infamous saying.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, ran the most routes. I don't know why he's on the field. I guess because, one, he's really the only healthy receiver. I know Alshon Jeffrey's been
Don't you
banged up.
sit there and say he's the only healthy receiver.
Well, Alshon Jeffrey's been hurt. Deshaun, obviously, he's probably going to miss the rest of the season. We'll talk about that shortly. But I just feel like even though he's been really inconsistent and really not that talented this year specifically, I just feel like he's been the only guy that you can count on to actually get in there healthy each week and play a handful of snaps.
I'm going to bring something up that I seen some stats. This comes from Michael Kist at Michael Kist NFL. Here's the crazy part. Because when I look, it's funny. The film came out on Monday. Usually don't come out till Wednesday, the All-22 tape. It came out Monday, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. Those couple deep passes to Aguilar, do y'all know how catchable those were if he learns how to move a body out the freaking way?
He's too small to move a body out of the way.
He's tiny.
Tyreek Hill moves bodies out the way, and he's 5'9", 5'10". That's no excuse.
Okay,
Easier said than done.
That's an
I can't.
unfair
You cannot
comparison.
just compare Tyreek Hill to Nelson Aguilar.
I'm saying, but you gonna let somebody smaller than you outman you? Seriously.
Well, Tyreek Hill doesn't do that. He just speeds around them.
This is a grown-ass man
Fastest
league.
man on the field.
This is a grown man league.
Listen,
Man up.
Yeah, what do you have? Like 6
right.
games left of Nelson Aguilar before he's gone. He'd never come back because this is his last year of his contract. He's got what is he on $9 million this season, which I thought was ridiculous in the first place. But he's going to be gone after this year. Just relax. Just ride the waves. The last 6 games here, we're going to crash on the beach and not go to the playoffs.
Now,
but next year, I'm telling you right now, if we can get some playmakers in here, we got a different. It'll be a way different story.
Now,
Are we going to quote him on that? We're not going to the playoffs?
Yeah. Everything's recorded. So if we make the playoffs, I can easily go back.
I don't see how you could possibly think. I get it. The schedule gets easier towards the end of the season.
I'm not saying we are. All I'm saying is you were on record as saying that we're not going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Now, should we make the playoffs, I'm going to replay this episode back, and I'm going to call you this.
You dumbass.
Well, guess what? I'm going to be happy either way because we'll make the playoffs. So that's a win-win situation for me. It's a win-win situation for me.
But anyway, back to my stats that I found that actually Michael Kiss found out. Now, this is crazy. So, Pro Football Focus, you guys all know, they're all about, analytics and things like that.
Yeah, what are they, like Gabe Kapler?
So, everybody's been saying that, well, maybe, Nick Foles, he threw a catchable deep pass. Look at this. So, Pro Football Focus crunched the numbers, okay? Carson Wentz throws a better percentage deep throw than Nick Foles does. Okay? Receivers can catch the ball plus 13% better than Nick Foles. And wide receivers have been dropping the ball at 20%.
What was that?
Show me your work. Show me your work. I want to
Yeah, what was that first stat you brought up?
I want to see this equation.
Catchable ball up 5% from Nick Foles.
Okay, that's because Nick Foles throws the ball deep more.
He throws the ball deep more, but okay, that's fine. That's a good argument to
Carson
have.
will really only throw it deep if he knows there's someone open.
Okay.
He doesn't take risks like that.
Yeah, that's called being a smart quarterback.
Maybe.
Nick Foles is just out there recklessly throwing the ball.
Well, here's another reason. I mean, we don't really have anybody that can get past any D-backs, so he really has no opportunity to throw it. And when he does, the guy that he usually throws it to is Aguilar, who can't catch. So there's a problem that in itself right there.
And it pisses me off even more to see Golden Tate catching one-handed passes for the Giants.
Because Golden Tate is a good player.
Golden Tate is a good player and a receiver that we could have used for this year. Especially considering the fact that your deep threat, who didn't get surgery back in week 2 when he was supposed to, goes out and plays before the week bye and tears the muscle completely off the bone and now it's out for the year.
So I have a question for you real quick. I have a real quick question. I don't remember this, but I remember the sequence. I just don't remember the players. In the playoff game last season against the Bears where we won on the double doink, we made a drive late in that game. Foles hits Golden Tate over the middle, made a great catch. He was hit as he caught it, got down around the 20, and then we had that goal line. Who was that slant Foles throw to in the right side of the end zone? On the right side of the byline. Who was that? Was that Golden Tate or was that Alshon Jeffrey?
It was Golden Tate.
It was Golden Tate. Made 2 huge plays in the playoff game. Now, nobody on our team is going to do that today. And on top of that, I get it, the whole contract situation. He probably wanted more money, and he was a free agent after last season anyway. So he walked. But again, that would be a perfect guy to have plug in our slot. And now
we know it's hard.
I remember people were laughing when the Giants signed Golden Tate, and people were laughing and saying, well, he's not that talented of a receiver. And on top of that, he was suspended for 4 or 5 games or whatever it was. So no one expected him to make a real big impact in the middle of the season. But now that Sterling Shepard's hurt, I get the Giants with the quarterback situation they have suck. But at the same time, they got good playmakers around them. And right now, we could use Golden Tate.
You got that right. We could use Golden Tate considering the fact that Mac Hollins, who plays over 80% of the offensive snaps, haven't caught a doggone thing in a month and a week now. Seriously, what receiver you know who has hands, by the way, 2 hands, at least allegedly. That's what I see out there on the field. He allegedly has 2 hands. I think that's a requirement to play wide receiver in the NFL.
We all sat here, and me personally, I remember thinking that the receivers were going to be a strength of this team before the season started because of the fact that I was high on Whiteside. I thought Alshon coming in, having a full off season under his belt, getting healthy and being, getting back to his full strength, and Desean coming in, like this whole thing in week 1, I remember everybody in the tunnel, getting hyped up and coming out on the field playing well, and now it seems like we're dropping like flies, getting hurt, not playing up to our standards, and that's probably the biggest reason that our receivers have really struggled.
I have a question for you.
He's more of a specialty. I see a lot of people, real quick, Tanner. Mac Hollins gets ripped on a lot, but he's not really supposed to be a part of the receiving core. He's more of a special teams guy, and he's not really supposed to contribute to his team too much from an offensive standpoint because we were supposed to have all these other receivers.
That's fine that he's a special teams person, but your position is wide receiver. I'm not just gonna keep you on the squad.
He was supposed to be like the 6th receiver. He's not supposed to be playing.
Okay, well, guess what? Everybody has to step up because of injuries.
It's Mac Hollins. You can't expect that much from Mac Hollins.
I'm expecting him to at least catch 3-4 balls a game.
Oh, you're asking a lot there. You'd be surprised.
That shouldn't be a lot.
Why did we not put a waiver claim on Josh Gordon?
Oh, don't get me started with don't get me started with
Why?
that.
There's no negative. Well, what's the negative?
I don't understand why they didn't put a claim on Josh Gordon. I don't understand it. I don't understand it because at the trade deadline, you didn't make a trade because you were betting on the fact that you were getting healthy. Okay, fine. You got healthy defensively. But you know that with Desean Jackson, he's been injury prone for the last couple of years now of his career. So you should have been more prepared for a backup plan. And here's another thing that makes me sick as well.
Oh, boy.
Other than the fact that we let Josh Gordon go to the Seattle Seahawks. The sick part is Arcega-Whiteside. All the receivers that's been drafted after him have been playing successfully. DK Metcalf for the Seattle Seahawks is tearing it up. Terry McLaurin for the Washington Redskins, 3rd-round pick, has all of a sudden now emerged and looks like a number 1 receiver, but yet and still, Arcega-Whiteside is only in there on blocking assignments.
Why isn't he?
I have a problem
I haven't
with that.
seen him ever get the ball thrown to him. Am I missing something here, or is he just not on the field for offensive plays?
He's on the field, but the most what I've seen him out there for is for blocking assignments. I have a problem with that.
So it's all run plays when he's out there, usually.
I have a serious problem with that. He's a 2nd-round pick for a reason. The dude was balling in Stanford. Give him a shot. Let's draw up some plays to get him a one-on-one.
They did, and then
He didn't read the plays right.
exactly.
He's a young
He was
kid.
turning around the wrong
and
way.
at this point, you're not even throwing at Mac Hollins. I'd rather you throw at a 2nd-round pick and give him a shot.
Listen, our best offensive player besides our quarterback this season has been Jordan Howard. And in all honesty, if you're in the red zone, I would just hand it to him. People want to get tricky. They want to throw end arounds. They want to
Too
just
strong. Get
throw
your
it.
weight up.
They want to just throw it up to their big playmaking receiver that we don't have. So we got to use our strengths. We really only have 4 playmakers on this offense, and I'll give them to you right now. Our 2 tight ends and our 2 running backs. We don't really have a receiver that's been a playmaker.
Yes.
So in the red zone, if Ertz is getting double teamed or if Ertz just isn't the same player as he was last year, you look for Goddard. You look for a swing pass to Sanders out of the backfield to get him in space, or you just run it up the middle with Jordan Howard, and you just play to your strengths. Now, I do think that we're in week 9, 10 now, and Whiteside still hasn't gotten much of an opportunity.
I have a problem with that.
Or hasn't made any plays when he does get an opportunity. So that's a little concerning he's our 2nd-round pick. But again, if you're in the red zone especially, I'm not saying go out and play him when you're on your own 20 and throw a deep pass to him because that's not really what he does. But he can go up and get balls kind of like Alshon was early in his career. Give him a shot in the red zone, see if he improves at all.
That's all I'm saying. Give the kid an opportunity. In the beginning of the season, okay, maybe he had some jitters in the beginning. Maybe he just wasn't ready mentally. But give him a shot. I'm sorry. What do you have to lose at this point? You're not designing any plays for Nelson Aguilar other than jet sweeps and little quick hitches, which, to be honest with you, it's a chance 50-50 if he catches them or not, with the way Nelson Aguilar's season's been having. And now Alshon Jeffrey's not catching the routine footballs that we're used to him catching.
You don't want to go through the whole season with Whiteside, your 2nd-round pick, not getting any playing time or improving at all. But it's funny how we're sitting here. We were 3-4 at one point. We're coming off 2 wins in a row, and everybody's frustrated. And it's smart because the fact of the matter is this team isn't where it needs to be, or where we expected it to be. And we all have a right to, be upset and frustrated because we expected to have a better record than we do right now, and we don't. And on top of that, it doesn't get any easier after the bye week with 2 expected losses by most people with the Seahawks and the Patriots.
Real quick, what happened to Mark and Michelle?
Who?
You remember the wide receiver who had that big game in the preseason?
No.
Mark and Michelle.
I do.
Had that deep pass reception.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He's on our practice squad. At this point, what do you have to lose?
Do we still have Greg Ward on our team?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
He's a free agent. That's what I was going to bring up. We need to bring in another wide receiver, either maybe Michael Crabtree. He's out there.
I consider
Or,
him at this point.
Again, Jordan Matthews.
Once again, anything is better than the pile of crap that we have now. I'd rather take Bryce Treggs back at this point.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Bryce
I'd rather
Treggs?
take Dorial Green Beckham at this point, who can
stop
catch
it.
a slant route at least.
By the way things been going, especially with the trade deadline, I think we'd probably bring back a player like Greg Ward, not a flashy
You know
guy
what?
like Michael Crabtree.
I'm going to throw out some names to you guys. Just see if you have any interest.
Okay.
All right, so Dante Moncrief just got cut by the Steelers a couple days, yesterday or 2 days ago after their game. What do you think? Any interest in him?
He drops the football too.
Yeah.
What about J.J. Nelson? He got cut by the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, he's out there.
He's an option. How about we give Torrey Smith a call? Maybe he comes out of retirement. How about Jordy Nelson? He can come out of retirement.
Just bringing guys out of retirement.
There's,
We'll bring back
there's
Chris Long.
names
Well,
out there.
Since we want to pull people out of retirement, let's call T.O. Let's call Chad Ochocinco.
Or
You know what?
someone that's not
Stop.
retired yet and just hasn't played
Man,
in
that's
a while.
ludicrous.
Is Bryant.
Or Antonio Brown. We can give him a call.
No.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, come on. You can't really. Do you think he's going to screw up another chance? Antonio Brown?
Hell,
but the only-
I just want him to end the season so maybe we can sneak into playoffs as a 6 seed
I mean,
again.
what's the deal with that legal situation?
I was about to say the thing with Antonio Brown is he's going to face some form of a suspension.
Is he?
Yeah, because you know
Here's
the
what they're
league's gonna
saying.
come
Here's what they're saying. When he gets signed, they're not doing anything with his situation right now. But if a team were to sign him, they're saying that they're going to investigate immediately and put
Right.
him on the exempt list or whatever it's
So
called.
really, there'd be no point of signing him.
Exactly.
He's a body.
But what you do is you can go to the league and say, you know, hey, be straight with me. If we sign this guy, are you going to, take him off the field or not? Because the reason they really haven't investigated it is because he's just sitting at home on the couch. He's not employed. And if he were to get signed by us, then they might have to pick up speed on the investigation, which could last, who knows, like 12 to 13, 14, 15 weeks. And at the end of the day, I'm just throwing it out there because he's probably the second best receiver in the world right now, behind Julio, in my opinion.
And all I'm saying is it was irresponsible for upper management knowing the severity of this injury. That's fine that you're not going to describe the entire severity of the injury to the media. That's fine. All teams do that. But internally that this was a problem. This abdominal strain was a problem. You probably talk to the doctors every week about it.
Yeah.
You're interacting with
It's
Desean
Deshaun's
Jackson about
decision.
it.
It's his decision.
And I understand it's Deshaun's decision. I'm not knocking him for this. It's an injury. Things happen. I'm knocking upper management for this because you know exactly what the situation is, and you did absolutely nothing up until this point to address it
I think
or
this
to fix it.
How close are the Eagles to the cap? Because I actually don't.
they have space. They have a
Dude,
decent
we
amount of space.
always have space.
I think what we should have
Always.
done. People were saying go get AJ Green or maybe even Mike Evans. And I think we should have went out and got Odell. I mean,
Okay.
looking back on it, this is a guy who's in a horrible situation in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield doesn't even throw it his way. He doesn't even look, and he's open. He beats top corners. Chris Harris Jr. We all saw the highlight people were showing on ESPN. He beat Chris Harris Jr. right off the snap and got past him. And Baker didn't even look his way. This is a guy that can play the outside. He can play the inside. Where Aguilar plays, you can put him wherever you want. He can come out of the backfield and then on those like little quick slants. We've seen him throw footballs down the field and completes with Jarvis Landry. He's a do-it-all receiver in a bad situation. Now, again, he's got an attitude problem. But at the end of the day, man, with the situation we're in right now, we can use any help we can get.
You got
and
that
now
right.
that the trade deadline's passed, it's not gonna obviously happen. But
Yeah, if
look
and
at
buts.
it.
All I'm saying is it was irresponsible to not make a move. And I understand because I heard what the value was for some of these receivers. I think the New York Jets wanted like a second-round pick for Robbie Anderson. And I understand the value was kind of high because the Patriots basically screwed everything up, trading for Mohamed Sanu and everything else. But, dude, you knew you had a problem. And this ain't like it's the beginning of the season and maybe you're still hoping you can fix things. You knew you had a problem.
We're halfway through.
We're halfway through. It's no way you can continue to watch these games and be like, all right, these wide receivers done dropped another doggone football. All right, maybe they'll catch the next one. No! Come on now.
Yeah.
And now I won't even be able to hear this again, man.
I want to throw it 70 yards to Deshaun.
You know what I think? I think to fix this problem, what we have right now is really going to be difficult. Now, here's what I think we should do. I say you take, and again, I'm not Doug Peterson. I don't know what's going on inside the locker room and everything. But from what I'm seeing on the football field, I think if we take Aguilar off the field a little bit more, maybe even put both Howard in the backfield, maybe even slant, Miles Sanders in the slot because he can catch passes out of the backfield. He's been one of our better pass catchers on the team this season. You put both of them out there at the same time. That's two of your playmakers. Now, I don't know how this works. You would know better than I would with the football background.
You can do that.
Can you do Sanders out there? Maybe, I'm not saying put him in a slot as like a receiver, but maybe start him in the backfield with Howard and then maybe send him out wide. And then, but also at the same time, have Goddard and Ertz is the two. Like, I don't know how the two tight end sets work.
22
and all that.
personnel.
So
you would just have one wide receiver out there. But yeah, you can do
which
that.
would be weird, right? You're not used to just having one receiver on the outside, but you can swing out Sanders. But that gives you more options and more pass catchers.
Yeah, how you could do that, how you could set that up is you could have a receiver on the outside. Maybe you put Ertz out wide.
Yeah.
And then you can have Howard and Sanders in the backfield. You put Sanders out in the slot. Maybe in motion to figure out what the defense.
If you can get all four of those players out there at the same time, that both of our tight ends, both are RBs, that would probably be beneficial for us. And also, I'm trying to compare this to the Cleveland Browns, who are now getting Kareem Hunt back. What if they put like Chubb and Hunt in the backfield at the same time? And, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing because it causes a mismatch and it really puts pressure on the defense to really pay attention to because Nick Chubb's been having a pretty decent season, and now you have one of the best running backs you're getting back in Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
It's going to cause some problems for defenses to look at.
Right. Now listen, Doug. He has out-coached Belichick before, and he's got a week to prepare. But Belichick also has a week to prepare for us as well.
Yeah, he out-coached Belichick with Frank Reich as an offensive coordinator.
I just want to bring something up about Miles Sanders. Last week, he had more catches of 25 yards or more than Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Thielen, Michael Thomas, Juju Smith-Schuster, and DeAndre Hopkins.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
It has been impressive. That's why he needs to be on the field more. And Jordan Howard has been doing well, too, in the running game. He needs to be on the field more as well. And we saw him in Green Bay, had a great pass-catching game, had a one slant down the sideline from Wentz. I mean, he can catch passes, too, as well.
He's not the most reliable pass catcher, but, you can
we can shift this offense. It's not going to be the way we all planned with our big-time receiver, with our speed threat, with our nice slot guy, with our single back that can do both pass catch and run block. But at the same time, if you have what we have and put it together as far as having both running backs out there and both tight ends, use those playmakers, we could make some noise. I don't think that it would be a horrible idea to try the two tight ends, two running back situation.
No. And that's one of the formations I've been crying about outside of 21 personnel. That's one of the other formations I've been crying about.
What we're doing right now is not working. You can't have Aguilar and you can't have Whiteside and you can't have three receivers on the field at one time because we don't have a good receiver right now.
Oh, and by the way, I hate to say this because he's a legend, and I know he's going to retire at the end of the year. But Darren Sproles, he ain't. All right, seriously, he does not need to be out there
he's an
on
old
the
man.
offense.
Here's my question:
he does not need to be out there on the offense anymore. I barely want him on special teams anymore.
Why do you bring him back in this week when you could have him an extra week for the bye? Same thing with Desean. I get it; he was going to be hurt anyway. It looks like, but you had an extra 2 weeks to prepare, and especially for the Patriots, and you bring him back for this game. On Sunday against the Bears, and I just was scratching my head. I get it. Every game is important, especially this late in the season, but I was just wondering.
This is some bullshit.
We really didn't need Deshaun yesterday to win. What did he have? One catch for 5 yards. We didn't need him.
I think the Eagles just didn't have enough confidence going into the Bears game. They won, but the first half was definitely better than the second half.
Yeah.
Well, David Montgomery got hot in the second half, right? 2 touchdowns.
The team just seemed lifeless.
They did. They came out the locker room. They came out the locker room too comfortable. They came out the locker room too relaxed, and they didn't attack. This defense was playing dominant. I mean, I haven't seen that defense play like that in so long. I mean, they're doing T-stunts up the middle, exotic blitzes I've never seen out of this defensive coordinator. I'm like, man, this is awesome.
What were we 12-0 at the half?
I mean, we were playing against an offense that's ranked 30th in the league.
And then all of a sudden, second half comes out, Jim Schwartz starts applying that stupid sticks defense. And passes start going over the top of the corners again. I'm sick of this, man.
From a ranked 30th place offense.
Seriously, come on now.
Let's talk about the Cowboys now. They get a W last night against the Giants. Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, and Zeke all look great. And Daniel Jones struggled a lot. Evan Ingram played well. But I only say this because, listen, the Cowboys are now, 5-3, and we're 5 5-4.
And they got the Vikings coming
So
up.
they got. I'm trying to think of the scheduling here on how we can basically leapfrog them. They got the Vikings coming up, a couple of tough games as well.
Well,
They got
that
the Rams.
loss to the Jets really hurt them. Schedule.
Yes. They got the Rams coming up as well. A couple of other tough games too. I know they have the playoffs again at the end of the season at home, but again, they have tough games ahead. But we do as well. But if we can come out of this really even with them, it basically leaves it up to that last game of the season where we get them at our place, and who knows? It's a toss-up.
They got Vikings, Lions, Patriots, Bills, Bears, Rams.
Lions have been decent this season.
Us, and then Redskins.
Yeah, so not too many guaranteed wins on that schedule. I don't
Us
think.
as in the Eagles.
So they take care of the Giants.
Probably, yeah.
They're
most
already
likely.
halfway through the Redskins.
Right.
Yeah.
The Bears, probably.
They can beat
Well,
the Bears.
Where's that game at?
In Chicago.
Oh, by the way, because I've been really negative about the Eagles, I will say there was one positive that I seen. Dude, Andre Dillard's been kicking all kinds of ass. All right? Seriously. To handle Leonard Floyd and Khalil Mack by yourself and only give up one sack throughout the entire game.
Hey, I'm turning around on him.
Like, seriously. Okay, you got your left tackle of the future. Seriously. Andre Dillard was kicking ass.
As far as the Cowboys, they are playing the Vikings. That's going to be a good game.
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, that's
and
gonna
that's
be a
in
good
Dallas, but it is going to be a good game. Two good
Yeah.
defenses. Van Der Esch was out last night. He's trying to get back.
Yeah.
But man, it's frustrating that a couple of the games that we dropped earlier this season,
The Falcons.
it could really put the Falcons. It
The
could've-
Lions.
really could have put us in position for
and Bears.
a lead in this division, and it can come down to a 9-7, 10-6 season. I don't see any team in this division winning 11 games.
No.
I mean, unless Dallas all of a sudden just gets hot and gets a little bit of luck on their side.
I mean,
Because Dak still ain't playing. Dak's still not that good of a quarterback. I mean, he's playing pretty good so far, but he hasn't been the Dak Prescott that we've,
I expected him to run a little bit more this year, and
Yeah.
he hasn't been running as much. I thought, especially in the red zone, when
Zeke's jam.
Zeke handing off, I get it, the best running back in football, or you could argue one of the best. But I thought maybe he could use his legs, and he did have 3 touchdown passes last night. I know it was against the Giants, but he's had good games against tough opponents.
Yeah, he's had-
this season so far.
Yeah, he's had good games, but then there's the times where he'll still make odd throws, and I'm just like, well, what the heck were you looking at?
Yeah.
Like, what was you throwing to? Like, what were you seeing out there? You threw that ball into double coverage. What is the matter with you?
I mean, hey, I'm pretty sure passing yards wise, he's way up there, higher than Wentz.
Jason Witten.
Oh, he is. 'Cause
Jason,
you know why? He has receivers.
Jason Witten
Receiver,
looks like he's
Receiver.
still able to play at a very high
Singular.
level.
singular, Amari Cooper. That's
Nah,
it.
he has a lot of. He's got a lot
Michael
of guys. out there catching the
Gallup.
ball.
Randall Cobb.
He's got Gallup.
He has
Yeah.
receivers.
Jason Witten.
Jason
Plural.
Witten,
Yes.
the old Jason Witten,
Old
who
Jason
doesn't
Witten.
seem to be playing like he's old.
Hey, he has Jason Witten.
It's
too.
funny to me too.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying.
It's funny to you too.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to bring it back to the Eagles real quick. Other than Jim Schwartz, do you see anybody else on this coaching staff who's on the chopping block?
Mike Groh.
Oh, okay.
Mike Groh. Like, I don't know as far as prep work goes how much the offensive coordinator is involved, because Doug Peterson ultimately calls the plays.
Well, I'll tell you what, Frank Reich was a pretty damn good offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
and,
he was.
Yeah.
he seemed to know what he was doing.
And if we're going to follow the example that Frank Reich put out the 2 years that he was here, yeah, Mike Groh needs to go, or at least be demoted to wide receivers
Maybe
coach.
we should just call Frank Reich up on the phone and say, listen, how much
Hey, leave
I
your
will get my checkbook out. How much would you like to come back?
We'll pay you head coaching money to be our offensive coordinator.
No, seriously, like we don't, us being just fans, we don't know as far as how the coaches impact the team at a high level, and like especially like lesser coaches like offensive coordinators and defensive backs and line coaches and all, but they make a real big difference when you look at Frank Reich and then compared to what we have now with Mike Groh. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
What's John
frustrating.
DiFilippo doing too?
Is he still? I'm not sure what that.
he got fired from the Vikings. I'm sure he's
Yeah.
with somebody right now.
But yeah, even still, like, and then in terms of coaches, y'all know how I feel about Jim Schwartz. Y'all know I want him gone. The defensive backs coach, whose name is slipping my mind right now.
Jim Schwartz, what you haven't liked him as a whole this season, or you talk about just this game on Sunday?
Okay, I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Remember
When
the first game? He wanted him fired.
Yes,
Who
I
did?
did. I did.
T, you wanted him fired after the first game?
I called that. But here's the thing. I was neutral on Jim Schwartz when he first got here because I knew his history. I'm like, okay, he's going to ramp up the pass rush. He's always been known for having a defense with a very strong pass rush. But the defensive backs, the secondary, and this is a passing league, you at least to have your defense be a respectable defense, you at least need to have a secondary that's in the top 15. I don't expect you to be top 5.
With the players we have, though, top 15?
I understand that. And I completely understand that. But you're not necessarily always going to have the pieces you necessarily want or available. So you need to work with what you have.
These guys need to be developed then.
And that's where it goes back to coaching. Where's the development? There has been no development with these young players. None whatsoever.
That's true. Now, the good news is we didn't have to start Sidney Jones on Sunday. He didn't even play.
Here's the sick part about that. The sick part. An undrafted rookie named Craig James was activated before Sidney Jones was.
Yeah.
Sidney Jones has fallen so far from grace from this team.
He really can't.
No, he can't. And it's absolutely horrible. But how much is that on Sidney Jones and how much is that on coaching? I mean, both parties are at fault here.
The answer is yes.
Okay, yes. Both parties are at fault. But where is the coaching? Where is the coaching to say, hey, your feet was out of position on this play. If a wide receiver is in such and such position near the line, near the out of bounds line, you need to force him to the inside. You need to play inside. Okay, if he's like this, you need to play outside and make sure that play like the boundaries is another defender. Like things like that. Coaching things up like that. I'm not seeing that out of these corners.
Listen, look at these teams that we are competing against in the NFC to get a playoff spot, right? The Cowboys, probably better than us. And Vikings you can throw in there as well. Packers, it's just going to be so hard to get in the playoffs. You know, the Seahawks and the Niners and the Rams even are still competitive. Saints, it's going to be very difficult to get in this season. And I just don't know if it's our year. And I'm looking forward to this upcoming NFL draft, to be honest with you. Not overlooking the end of this season, but I'm always looking ahead to the players in the draft.
Talk about this upcoming draft.
What it sounds like.
I came across an article.
We need to hit on these picks. Go ahead.
I came across an article that says, will the Eagles get rid of Andrew Sendejo for their comp pick?
Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
But they couldn't get rid of him by Saturday.
For what pick?
Please get rid of him.
What round?
Please.
4th round.
Oh,
Please
definitely.
get rid of Andrew Sendejo, because he straight up ain't. All right, I'm serious.
If they get rid of him, they get their 4th round comp pick.
You time that like a symphony.
Or do they keep him and not get any pick?
Dude, please get rid of Andrew Sendejo. He has no purpose on this team. And Mitchell Trubisky was sliding, clearly sliding. Soon as you see a quarterback slide, don't touch the damn quarterback. What did he do? He went in head first. He's been playing reckless this entire season. Dude, you were there at the Green Bay game when he took out Avonte Maddox.
That's right. That happened.
I was there.
He's been playing reckless this entire year.
I know I asked this last week, but what's the story with Cravion? Like, when's he coming back?
He should be coming back after the bye.
Hopefully.
And they're probably going to mix him in in the slot with Maddox.
Okay.
That's going to be the deal with Cravion LeBlanc.
Oh boy.
So
this team is so up in the air, guys. The rest of the season,
dude,
yeah,
it really is.
I am so worried about this New England game.
You ain't the only one.
Because that guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
Tell you what, maybe they throw a surprise in there, shock the world.
I love
It's been done.
It's at home at least, right?
I love how optimistic this dude is.
Yeah, he can keep us optimistic over there.
Hey, anything can happen, guys. It's football.
Hey,
I'm sick.
You know what? Hey, in the unlikely scenario, Max in 2 weeks could easily sit there and go, idiots.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Let's transition. Let's talk some Sixers here.
Oh man.
5-1. You know they're hot. Embiid obviously gets suspended last week. That fight with Towns a little ridiculous.
It's about damn time.
Then he goes on social media and he's posting all these
That was entertaining
pictures.
as hell.
Ridiculous. That was well needed.
Well, yeah, but we're trying to get the 1 seed. Losing to Phoenix, not the best when you're trying to win like 60.
It's still the beginning of the season.
These games add up. It's only 82. We're not talking the 162 like baseball.
That's true.
I agree. It hurts us. We lose a starter, but we built this team this year so that we don't need Embiid every game.
I was about to say, it's one game. It's the beginning of the season, and Phoenix has beaten some formidable
Phoenix
opponents.
is very.
And then I bring up a name Furkan Korkmaz.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
did.
yeah. Hey.
You did insult. You did insult him last week, didn't
just
you?
want to say that I said he was my guy last week.
I hope you have a soundbite of that.
Oh man, I don't have it queued up, but I do have this
Listen,
for you.
You dumbass.
yeah, Furkan, I apologize. That was a really big shot you hit on Saturday night, and I really
You make me sick.
I not only threw him under the bus, I also got in the passenger seat and sat there while it was driven over him. So I apologize to Furkan. And,
He was doing it last night, too.
I tell you what, I thought when they cut him originally in the offseason that he was done in his Sixer uniform, and then they re-signed him, and now he's playing some meaningful minutes off the bench. Apparently, he got a lot better in the offseason. But again, what a big time win. Now, listen, I didn't expect to win that Portland game because they went to the Western Conference Finals last year. We didn't have Embiid. We were losing by 18 with a whole quarter to play or whatever. So I didn't expect to win, but. Then we win that game and we come back and lose to Phoenix and we let Devin Booker score 40 points, the only player they have.
They had the answer for Ben Simmons.
Is it
Yeah,
Okay.
it's called making him
Dario
shoot.
knew exactly what to do with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, it's frustrating because Phoenix is a team that has one. Now, DeAndre Ayton suspended for those. So, he wasn't playing. We know Embiid wasn't playing, but, we still have the advantage there because they have Aaron Baines, who I can't stand. We have Al Horford. So Al Horford was balling last night,
was.
man.
He was.
And
He's
I
hitting
was
those shots,
if
man.
Yes, he
Simmons
is.
just did not have his best night, and he didn't have his best night in Portland either.
No,
So
he didn't.
he's kicking off his 4-game road trip, not off to the best start, but still 2 more games left, right? We have the Nuggets.
Yeah,
We have the Jazz and then the Nuggets.
You know how all this can be fixed?
How
Shoot the damn ball.
simple?
Well, he has missed a lot of layups the last 2 games. But
Because
defensively, teams are finding a way to.
Because they're crowding the paint because they know he's a driver. Until he is able to shoot that football. Jeez, shoot that
You can
basketball.
try it. You can try it.
Shoot
Go
that
for
basketball in the open field and stop driving all the time to the lane. Come on now. It's going to be open season.
I agree with what you're saying. Now, defensively, teams are, usually they put a point guard on them. And now they're putting these other 6'10", 6'11 dudes who are athletic as well. And it seems to give him a little bit of trouble. Now, how you counter that, I'm not completely sure because I'm not a coach. But I need to see a little bit more out of Josh Richardson because he's, first of all, he's young and athletic.
Right.
He can shoot a little bit. Not the best shooter, but he can shoot.
Right.
Maybe put the ball in his hands a little bit more, try to create some more opportunities for him and get the ball out of Simmons, out of his hands. Because I've seen a lot of Simmons driving down the lane, and then he'll post up. He'll post up with Embiid out the last couple games. You see him, he's kind of like the post player. But I would like to see him take a couple of jumpers because, he was making them in the preseason. He hit one.
It's the damn preseason.
I'm just saying, he worked on it this offseason. We saw him in the gym. He's a post on
Maybe
Instagram.
it's just a look.
The game's
He
the
just
game.
wants people to think he can shoot the 3.
Thank you.
So
For
that
once
they
you
guard up on him and there's another guy open.
For once, Chris actually says an accurate and smart comment. Yes. Yes.
In the 30-plus episodes, it's the first smart thing I ever said.
Jeez.
Thank you.
All I'm saying is you can do anything you want to in practice. That's why I was getting pissed at Tanner in the offseason because he kept sending me videos of Ben Simmons
in the gym.
putting
Putting in that double work.
shooting a jump shot. But I'm like, okay, that's in the open
local
gym.
men's league.
No defense.
No, they were playing with defense at some points.
Yeah, some points. Like, seriously, I need to see Ben Simmons shoot that foot. I keep bringing up the dog on football.
Well, we have a show title.
Dad, man.
Shoot that football.
That is blasphemous.
I want to shout out Mike Scott, who has been playing well. He's more of a shooter this season. I've seen him make a couple of nice drives, a couple of nice floaters, and he's been contributing pretty well off the bench.
He's been
now,
doing
what
great.
I need to see Embiid do this game against Utah, drop 30 and 20.
Simple.
30 and 20. He's got a week of rest under his belt. Get in there against Utah. I don't want to see all this Donovan Mitchell 45 points or any of that nonsense.
Don't eat 3 Chick-fil-A sandwiches before the game.
God,
Just frustrating
done
that
with that now.
the
God, please
Suns
don't.
have
You don't
one.
know that.
The Suns have one player. I get it. We had one day to prepare for the Suns, and on Sunday, we probably only had a shoot around, probably not a full practice. Blah blah. Long story short, you have one guy. He scores 40 or 50 against us every time. Somebody, please play defense against him. Somebody, please.
kidding me?
Defend without fouling because he gets to the line. He's like James Harden out there, getting to the line like 18 times a night, shooting all those free throws, especially towards the end of the games. and
It's funny to me,
double him
too.
or something, get the ball out of his hands. Because who are they going to throw it to? Ricky Rubio?
Well, the
all of a
Suns-
sudden, he can shoot all of a sudden because he hits 3 3-pointers last night. But come on.
Suns are a good team. They beat the Clippers. They beat the Warriors, even though
That's true.
the
I was
Warriors
about
aren't
to
the
say,
Warriors anymore.
The
but-
Warriors are tanking this year. Let's be honest.
Bro, if the Warriors tank this year and get a top pick, and they take that top pick and they get Clay and Steph back next season, Draymond healthy as well, D'Angelo Russell, I mean, next season it could be another. We're back to the old-time Warriors. Where they're going.
But this season,
Nah.
let's focus on this season.
Yeah, let's focus on this season. This season, the only threat I see out west is the Clippers. And then the Lakers ain't really doing anything for me. They're still inconsistent.
Come on.
They have no bench. They don't have a bench. Outside of LeBron and AD.
Can't overlook the Lakers.
I'm not saying overlook them. They're going to go to the playoffs. I'm not debating that.
They're 5-1 as well out west and first in the Western Conference.
There's going to come a time where that bench is going to be tested. I'm telling you, mark my words.
I'll tell
bench
you
is
right
gonna be
now.
tested.
I'll tell you right now. When they get Paul George back, or the Clippers, get Paul George back, they're taking over that 1 seed in the West.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, that's not even an argument.
They could use some depth off the bench, though. I think, but can't everybody these days? I mean, you can't have too many shooters on your team, especially off the bench. But the Bucks, I think, are going to give us some trouble.
The Bucks always going to give us trouble in the East.
I think Tobias needs to step it up and play better. We're paying him $180 million. I need to see more. I need to see more out of him. He hasn't been playing the highest level, and I need to see him get the ball more late in games because he's our closer.
But he's not.
Even though he's not a superstar.
You're paying him closer money, but that's never been his skill set.
Well, I don't care. Embiid's not on the floor, and on top of that, even when he is probably late in games, people are going to realize that, and he's going to need to knock down those shots when it gets kicked back out to him.
I'd rather have Court Miles as a closer. That's just me personally. I'm just saying.
Well, it's not going to be Simmons, and it should be.
What's he here for?
But he can't shoot. That's the problem. And Josh Richardson, and he's a role guy. And you know what? You know who could be our closer? Al Horford.
Now that I can get on board
Just
with.
give the ball to Big Al.
That I can get on board with. Not Weird Al Yankovic, people.
All right, Chris.
The greatest Al.
Chris, let's talk some Flyers.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's talk some Flyers. All right, now, struggling on and off, but also
Quit
throwing
yucking
in
my
some
yum.
nice games here and there as well.
Yeah,
They're kind of middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference, but the fact of the matter is,
My bad.
T.
That was my
I don't
bad.
want to ever have that happen
All
again.
right,
all right? Never
Okay,
again.
well, I'm gonna shut T's mic off, as well as his sound bites.
You don't
No,
want-
okay.
He needs to learn how to wrap that thing up.
Okay, look, Max, I got a thing to tell you. I have a 30-minute drive to this place, and in that 30-minute drive, I'm sitting there by myself, and I'm crazy. You already know that.
Well,
Sometimes
we all
know that.
Sometimes I have conversations with myself, and I thought of something. Do you know who's injured
on the Flyers?
on the Flyers? Nolan Patrick.
Oh,
Nolan
yeah.
Patrick.
I completely forgot because of his headaches,
Our
right?
second. Oh,
We know it's hard. He's got like extra migraines or something.
yes. He's got a migraine
Everybody's got a
disorder.
migraine these days. All right, just get out there.
I got a migraine
Okay,
looking at
so
y'all right about now.
That dude was our second overall pick, and I lost my mind in my car thinking, geez, when you compare him to the other second overall picks in the past couple of years, it's pretty bad.
Well, listen, he's a good player. We've seen him be productive.
He's a good player,
but he's just not
But
on the ice.
If you compare him to like Buffalo's Jack Eichel or Patrick Laine on the Jets, he's nothing compared to those guys.
Yeah. Now,
and I'm like,
part of that could be just the draft class, maybe. But
Yeah,
maybe he was a little
true.
over. You know, he was a reach, maybe.
No. He was hyped up for because he was draft eligible in 2017. People were
He's a
talking
center,
about him in
right?
2014.
Center?
Yeah, everyone was losing their minds. Like, oh, this guy, he's going to be the biggest thing since Connor McDavid. You know, and
No
then
one's
he
going
comes
to be
in.
ever. I think Connor McDavid's going to go down as the best player ever.
The guy who's supposed to go first overall this coming year is
Nobody cares about hockey, Max.
pretty sick.
Yo, T, how about you go take your 5-4 record and go walk out the door?
Oh, man.
All right, I'm talking about a possible playoff team. I'm talking about a possible playoff
Yeah, a possible
team right now.
playoff team, and you guys are still struggling with a damn goalie.
Look, it's dude. Carter.
Yeah,
Hunt
I've been looking at hockey games too.
single digit bad games. He's in the single digits
Listen,
of bad
he's
games.
going to step it up. It's early on in the season,
Dude,
all right? Tonight is a big night, right? Tonight at home, we need the whole crowd coming out on a Tuesday. Carolina Hurricanes.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. Do you know who Carhartt reminds me a lot of?
Who?
Carey Price, who is the best goalie easily in the league. When he first came into the league, Montreal wanted his head because of how bad he was as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's the highest paid goalie, and he's the best goalie in the league. And he reminds me so much. Carhartt reminds me so much of him. And he could easily turn into him. Easily.
Oh, it's so frustrating. I get it. But I look back at this as this, when we get to game 60, these games in the beginning, they're important.
They are.
And we need to start racking up 2 points. I get it. We're going into overtime a couple times. We're getting that 1 point, but we're losing.
Man.
And that shootout loss, just 11 rounds in a shootout is ridiculous.
The only person that did anything was Travis Konechny.
There's defensemen out there
shooting. You understand what I'm saying to you?
I know, dude. Okay, I know the NHL like you guys know the NBA and NFL. Dude, Frederik Andersen, the goalie for the Toronto.
Tank.
Dude, you can't just beat him clean. You're not going to beat him clean.
I've counted like 2 or 3 times where guys were just coming down and trying to rip it past him.
Yes,
and he was just gloving it every time.
It's not going to happen. Frederik Andersen's too good.
Yeah, he was, and even throughout the whole 3 periods of hockey, he was shutting us down. We couldn't get anything. We had chances. But he stopped us.
We outplayed Toronto.
Is he their starting goalkeeper?
Frederik?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, starting for them.
He's in my opinion, top 5 goalie in the league.
Okay.
He's great.
Yeah.
No, but like I said to you, we don't have a cutthroat, offensive-minded goal scorer on this team. That is what we are missing.
We have so many. You know who this team reminds me of? The Minnesota Twins, who have a bunch of great, a bunch of good players, but we don't have like that one stud.
No.
We don't have that one like go-to.
Once upon a time, Giroux was that guy.
He hasn't been that guy in like 4 years.
Yeah, I know. Giroux's going downhill, and it sucks because I love Giroux.
I was about to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about those rumors that were coming out, like maybe in the past year or two, that people were saying they should have traded Claude Giroux?
It was, dude. Okay, everyone who thinks Claude Giroux is trash needs to shut the hell up.
Yeah, I mean,
if it wasn't for him, you piece of Swiss cheese, would be a bottom 5 team every year.
He's still talented, but he's just not the same player that he used to be.
No, and it sucks because Sean Couturier now has apparently a shoulder problem. And Nolan Patrick's still out with
that. Hockey's he's had a shoulder problem dating back to last year or 2 years ago in the playoffs. He got hurt. But again, hockey's just a different sport. It's not like the NFL or the NBA where you can just go out and sign the biggest free agent.
No.
You kind of have to build up through the draft because of how many different players and different line changes and all that stuff you have. Now, our defensemen this year have been better.
Oh my God, dude! Ivan Provorov is
I like Matt Niskanen has been playing well.
Matt Niskanen's great.
We got a couple of veterans, which I think the GM did well. Chuck Fletcher, he got those younger, less talented defensemen out there. Rocco Gudis, I wanted him to stay, but it looks like Matt Niskanen coming in here. He looks like he's been a lot better. And having vets on defense has been really beneficial for us. Now the goalie has been the problem. I said in the preseason that our goalie was our strength, and we were going to build forward. And it seems like
problem now?
Our offense has been mediocre, middle of the pack. Our defense has been pretty solid from what I've seen. But our goalie, we've seen him be giving up 4 or 5 goals a night.
And it sucks because Carter Hart started hot with that shutout. He started really hot.
Right off the season, right? Yeah.
You guys think Carter Hart has some back problems? Maybe even some kids.
He does not have kids. He's a year younger than me.
What is he, 21?
He's 21.
Hey, maybe he has back problems.
He needs to learn how to rub that thing up.
You're always on your back.
He's always on his back.
I would just like to see them.
Brian Elliott has been great though. I know you don't like him. He was a star of the week. He was 3-0. He had a .924 save percentage. He's been performing well.
He did play well, but again, he just gave up that goal in that end of the shootout, and he just saw his body. He just lays flat on the ice. And he's like, damn, like I just saved like 10.
It's because he went 11 rounds deep. And it's like, hello, Claude Giroux.
Somebody score.
You're the highest paid player on the team. I need you to score.
Low life. Yeah.
And you were right. We were talking about this before the show. What Alain Vigneault, why are you sending out James Van Riemsdyk and Kevin Hayes and Shane Gostisbehere and Ivan Provorov out in the shootout before Travis Konechny?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Who was the only guy who scored for the Flyers?
You know what's hard? And Oscar Lindblom, I guess he's been a good player this season.
Hey, he's leading the team in goals.
Yeah, and I understand why he got probably the reason he got a high shot. Like, what did he shoot? Like 3rd or 4th in that shootout?
Yeah, he did. He shot 3rd.
Some of them, we were either losing the puck or we were just not making any moves. Like, we practice this stuff. We practice the shootout, don't we?
Allegedly.
And we just seem to not. make a move or a deke. We kind of just want to shoot or put it through
that guy
5
doesn't
know what the hell he's doing. It's frustrating.
Dude, I lost my freaking mind last week when we lost 7-1 to the Penguins. I hate losing to the Penguins because you know what happens? I get...
What happened in that game?
Play the bleep for me. I have...
What happened in that?
People who are Penguins fans who are just constantly in my ear, like, yeah, hey, check out our 3 championships in our lifetime.
But what was the problem?
In my ear.
What was the problem in that game? What was the? Why did we give up?
The problem in that game is that Sidney Crosby is one of the best players in the league and just gets off on just ruining the lives of our defensemen. You piece of Swiss cheese! Sanheim has been the worst defenseman on this team. In this past week, 3 different games, he has gotten walked by 3 different players who scored pretty goals, not gonna lie.
What?
And I don't know what it is, because once upon a time, every time we played in Pittsburgh, we won. But now that's gone because I don't know why. I guess it's because Peter Laviolette's not our coach anymore.
Right.
Hey, Chris.
And what?
If it makes you feel better, I was there at the Stadium Series game.
Hey.
When we came back.
Yeah, it was that was cool. That was cool.
Were you there?
No.
Oh.
I wish I was. I don't.
I'm not putting up with it. It's too much horse shit. It's too much.
I miss Peter Laviolette. He was a great coach. The only reason they fired him was because Claude Giroux didn't get along with him.
Enough is enough. Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
That's right, Peter.
Well, if we can just continue to put up like 2,
7-1.
if we can average 2.5 goals a game.
7-1 against the Penguins.
I get it. I understand, but we're gonna have games like this in
I
an
wanna
82
see
game
people
season.
rip their heart out of
All
their
right, it's
fucking
82
chest.
games. I understand, and it's on the road.
Look,
it's a tough game. The Penguins are a good team.
Yes, they are. And we got Carolina tonight who, dude, they've been nuts. So, their leading scorer is a defenseman.
Yeah.
Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. And Eric Howla is their leading goal scorer? I know you don't know who that is.
What is going on back there?
That's my point, though. That's their leading goal scorer.
Yeah, but again, they're a great team.
They're great.
They are really,
they're phenomenal.
really, really talented.
They're wonderful. Jacob Slavin.
Where we should be
fantastic.
underdogs tonight.
We are.
Yeah.
It's because we are. And then we got Montreal. And then we got Toronto again, which in Toronto, we better.
Where do we play Montreal?
Home.
Okay, so we got 2 games in a row at home. Including the
2 games home, and oh my Lord, Sunday we have Boston. Huh,
Where?
There's a loss in Boston.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, that's a loss.
So wait. What do we have? A Saturday, Sunday back to back?
Yes, Toronto
And then we
in
fly.
Toronto,
Okay.
and then Boston in Boston.
Well, you know.
Sorry.
That sucks. That's tough.
Yes, that
That's-
sucks because they're going. Okay, Toronto is a deep team.
Yeah,
I don't know if
very.
you know that. Dude, I would kill to have Mitch Marner on this team. I don't know if you know that.
Well, we can't just go out and sign Mitch Marner, right? He's locked up.
He just got locked up.
Yeah.
That's why, dude. So we have to go up against Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner again, and Frederick Anderson probably.
Right.
And then we have to go against, in my opinion, the best line in hockey of Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasternak, and in Boston, and Tuukka Rask, who is a good goalie.
Well, Tuukka Rask, isn't he old at this point? A little bit older. I mean, he's still talented.
Tuukka Rask is still a better goalie than either of our goalies. And Mitch Marner is a better player than any player on this team.
Yeah. Well, this is what I want to see. I want to see us continue to try to score at least 3 goals a night, which is going to be hard.
It shouldn't be hard.
But you wouldn't think it would be.
No.
Now,
not with this team.
If we score like 2.5 to 2
We know it's
to
hard.
2.5, we're going to need some better goalie play.
Yeah.
Because I think we can average like middle of the pack as far as goal scoring throughout the season. Our defense and our goalie need to step it up. You know, if one thing's going to be mediocre to bad, then the other part of our team has to be very talented or above average in order to level things out. Because we don't have a complete team at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. Let's shut it down. Let's shut it down.
All right. Well, T needs to do a thing real
All right.
quick. Real quick, before we end the show, I just want to give a shout out to JT Realmuto for getting a Gold Glove.
Yes.
Golden Glove, baby.
I'm proud of you, JT.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back.
All right. Yeah,
All right.
we better.
If you guys missed any of this episode, you can always go to Philly-Experience.simplecast.com. We are available on all major platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and more. Why is it that when we come in this studio, we always get emotional, we always get angry, things always get tossed around, we're cussing up a storm? This is getting ridiculous, guys. Seriously.
I'm really sorry for yelling into the mic. I apologize. You piece of Swiss cheese! You have a great day. What?
So you watching that the Carolina Panthers Flyers game tonight?
Carolina Hurricanes.
What?
Whatever.
Oh boy.
Huh? What? Seriously?
That's a no?
Hockey.
That's a hell no. I'm blanking down all 22 teams. What you mean?
What's he here for?
He pisses me off.
I am pissed off.
Let's go have a ham sandwich. Was that like a wise ass comment?
What don't you understand?
Oh, good for you.